And so, Tennessee Titans fans, apparently, Rich Eisen just might believe that people are sleeping on the Tennessee Titans going into the 2024 season. Is this a misleading title? Perhaps. Is this clickbait? Perhaps. Let's see what Rich has to say.
If I took out, this is again my
title of the video is "Sleep on the Tennessee Titans at Your Own Peril." Really?
now coffee-stained NFL schedule.
What's the catch?
Booklet from NFL Network Research. That's an unfortunate thing to have. Thankfully, TJ, you laminated the other schedule that's somewhere in my system over here. But the reason why I bring this up is the number of times that somebody's taking on the Tennessee Titans and the person who calls in and gives them a win against them.
No doubt.
For instance, Mike in D.C., the Washington Commanders play the Titans. He had them beating them, win. Let me take a look. Seattle Seahawks, the Tennessee Titans play who? So I can make this easier for me. Taking a look at the Indianapolis Colts, for instance. The Colts fans call them up here. One Colts fan had them beating the Titans not once but twice. Sweep.
Well, I can understand how the Colts feel confident. I mean, they've got a proven commodity at quarterback, a guy who has proven that he's durable, a guy that has proven that he can play all 17 games, really has just had a complete resume of great passing, great rushing. Like, you don't even have to wonder if the Colts have a guy that can play and be a franchise quarterback. Oh, wait. Oh, you're saying that he's played in 2 games? Oh, so we're pretty much just playing pretend. Okay. We're basing it all on just hopes and dreams? Okay.
The Minnesota Vikings fan that had them take on the Tennessee Titans. That's a win. The Patriots are taking on the Titans this year. Even my own son and Jacob Batalone, the actor, coming in here, and Ed in Carolina. All 3 of them have the Patriots getting a win against the Titans. Hold on a minute. The Miami Dolphins are taking on the Titans again. You remember the Titans, you heard Jeffrey Simmons just lament he wasn't healthy for that nationally televised game in which they came back and won shockingly.
Yeah, they did. And, here's the thing for me. I get, like, you could say I'm a homer, but I try to be as realistic as possible about the Titans, okay? And I'm just saying, are we really going to act like picking up Calvin Ridley, L'Jarius Sneed, Tyler Boyd, picking up big J.C. Latham in the first round of the draft, addressing a huge need, Lloyd Cushenberry, a massive improvement at center over Aaron Brewer, secondary is Awuzie comes in, the secondary has improved greatly, the wide receiver room has improved greatly, DeAndre Hopkins proved he could still go last year. All I'm saying, how are we just going to pretend that none of that matters? How are we not even going to entertain the idea that those pickups, and I just named some of them, Tony Pollard, we're just going to act like none of that matters. Like, those are just dudes that we got for sale, got a good deal on the side of the road, and they're just kind of guys that you bring in just to bridge the gap until you can get some better guys later. Like, how are we just going to pretend that those guys are bums?
Tony in Altoona called in and said the Dolphins are going to avenge that loss. They're going to beat them. I don't see a single Jacksonville Jaguar. Kevin in Jacksonville had them beating the Titans. Once he did have them losing in Tennessee. Okay. So we found one. Okay. Literally found one. Right. Both Chargers fans who called in to play the win-loss game have them beating the Titans. boy, oh boy. The Indianapolis Colts fan, as I mentioned, right? The Green Bay Packer fan at the Titans, that's a win. So on and so forth.
Okay.
Here's a new thing we should do. We should
So
have Jeffrey
on.
Simmons sit there and interview the person as they're going through one loss, and we'll see if that changes how they feel about something.
Everyone will pick the Titans 17-0.
They have Jeff
Well,
on the
I'm
show.
just pointing out again, when Jeffrey Simmons is pointing out, and I mentioned your first game is going to be against Caleb Williams, and he basically, before I even said Caleb's name, he said painted fingernails, right?
He did, immediately.
But again, for those who are joining us just now, Jeffrey Simmons pled guilty as charged to being one of the worst smack talkers in the NFL.
Big talker.
As he said that a lot of his opponents would name him as a top 5 smack talker in the NFL. So he's
Big Jeff don't even have when you play like Big Jeff does, you don't even have to talk smack. You don't even have to talk smack. You just go take the field, and that's all the smack talk you need.
he's ready, and he said not only is it going to be big for him because he was injured last year, didn't finish the season, so it's his first game back.
We also were terrible. I mean, if you remember, Jeff did deal with some injuries, but we were so bad and we were out of playoff contention with like a month to go. It was like, why put him out there, right?
But he mentioned how everyone's going to be overlooking them and talking about the Bears going, and Bears being on Hard Knocks too.
Sure.
I'm just pointing it out again. I might be talking myself into something with this.
Well,
here.
nobody's talking about them. Look, I look at this. You don't. The look-ahead odds for Week 1. The Bears are 4.5-point favorites.
I get it.
Super Bowl odds on the season. Only 4 teams have worse Super Bowl odds.
I could see how people believe in the Bears. I mean, they have a proven commodity at quarterback. A guy who's incredibly experienced, that has tons of NFL experience, and there's just no doubt he's great. Oh, wait. Oh, it's a dude who hasn't even taken a snap yet? Oh, okay.
Then the Titans.
The Titans finished horribly
Giants,
last year.
Broncos, Patriots, Panthers are the only teams worse.
Finished.
I don't care what the Titans did last year. It doesn't matter. It's a completely different team, completely different coaching staff. Roster has been completely turned over for the most part. Last year means nothing to anybody.
Poorly last year, with the exception of that, that Monday night game with Will Levis, and Will Levis did show some sparks
That was a
towards
wild
the
game,
end.
but Miami kind of blew it. They were up.
But their season was terrible. It was awful.
Yeah.
And they've remade themselves. But name me a wide receiver room that is on par with Tennessee's, with 3 guys who can do it.
Oh, there's several. I think.
Okay.
I think you're putting a lot.
Who is this guy? Who is this guy? I mean, Miami kind of gave up that game. Oh, really? Miami gave it up. So the team that scored the touchdowns, the team that made the plays, the team that made the stops, the team that drove the ball down the field twice, the guy that made the throws, the guys that made the catches, none of those guys had anything. It was just Miami gave it up. If anything, Tennessee, if you remember, gave up 2 touchdowns inside the 5-yard line to even have Miami with a 2-touchdown lead late in that game. We fumbled a punt, and then we had a bad pitch from Levis to Derrick that we pretty much handed him 2 touchdowns. So if anybody was handing anything away in that game, it was the Titans. And then he's like, well, there are several receiving groups. Let's see who this guy claims.
Stock and D-Hop still being the dude.
Oh, stop that. I think we need to stop that. He's still the dude. He's still the dude.
What? So last year I had to hear about, first of all, last year everybody was all excited about DeAndre Hopkins. He's going to sign with the Patriots. Yay. And then he signed with the Titans, and it was like, oh, he's washed. He's washed. Nope, he's done. As soon as he signed with the Titans, we don't care anymore. And then he came out and was solid on a team that had Ryan Tannehill, what was left of him, then Malik Willis, and then rookie Will Levis playing in his first game halfway through the year. Worst offensive line in football. No other weapons on the team other than him, and he still looked like DeAndre Hopkins. And we're just going to pretend none of that ever happened. Well, Yeah, we're just assuming D-Hop could still go. Watch the games. Watch what he did. All you have to go by is what we've seen. We've seen a heck of a lot more of him than we have Anthony Richardson, but we're just living in fantasy land about Anthony Richardson.
I don't know that there's...
He's still the dude.
There's three teams with the talent of those three receivers? I don't know, man.
There are some that, the Bears themselves can with Rome Odunze.
Seattle?
No, he said, don't forget.
Who did he just say?
The Bears themselves can with Rome Odunze.
Seattle?
No,
Seattle? The Seahawks? Of all the teams that Dollar General Dana White could name, he chose the Seattle Seahawks?
He said, don't forget Traylon Burks, too, who was, again, the guy that they drafted when they traded A.J. Brown away, and the height, weight, speed comp for Traylon Burks was A.J. Brown. But he hasn't played.
We're still waiting. Yeah.
He hasn't played like an A or a J.
Yeah. That's true. I'll give you that.
I know.
I love the fact that he's like, I had guys I go to college with, but when we're playing against each other.
Oh, he's not friends. There's no jersey swap with him, I guess.
He's like CM Punk. I'm here to make money. I'm not here to make friends.
Dig it.
What are the odds?
Miami, Houston.
He plays the game like
Hold
a
on.
I'm not here to make friends.
Dig it.
Miami, Houston.
He plays the game like a...
Miami literally has Tyreek Hill. I mean, maybe Tyreek Hill is a one-man receiving core. Houston has a one-year rental with Diggs, who's just destined to be unhappy there. I guarantee it. But
WNBA player.
He's trying. Dollar General Dana White here is trying his best.
Well, seriously, unfortunately, going to find that out in a few weeks.
Seriously. Catch the Rich Eisen Show.
I mean, here's the thing. I'm not saying the Titans have the best wide receiving group in the league. Okay, honestly, as bad as I hate to do it, I would throw the Eagles out there as a team. I mean, obviously, Titans fans, don't we know that AJ and Devontae, like that I would think would be one of the better wide receiving groups in the league. I will allow Houston. I mean, based on what we saw from Tank Dell and Nico Collins, and now you add Stephon Diggs to that, yes. If you want to say Houston, fine. Maybe Miami, if you just want to go based on Tyreek Hill alone and his speed and what he brings, maybe. They mentioned Chicago. I'm going to need to see that before I just buy in Chicago's wide receiving group. DJ Moore, I know that's a talented dude. Rome Odunze, that's a top 10 pick. I'm not going to say that he's the second coming of Jerry Rice when I haven't even seen him play. So I'm going to hold off on Chicago. He mentioned Seattle. I might throw out San Francisco, assuming that they have everybody back. I mean, Brandon Ayuk, that varies. Ayuk and Deebo Samuel, okay. The Chiefs, they don't even need receivers. Mahomes could go out there with a bunch of Walmart cashiers and win a Super Bowl, much like Brady used to. There was another team I was just thinking of that I might throw out. Cincinnati, assuming that T. Higgins is back and able to go. I just noticed this looks horrible right here. I'm sorry, guys. But assuming that T. Higgins is back and ready to go, yeah, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, but they lost Boyd. But okay, sure. But what I'm saying is, for Dollar General Dana White to be like, oh, hey, like, we got plenty of receiving groups better than the Titans. When you think about it, there are some, sure. But it's not like half the league, like he insinuated. And I think the only thing about the Titans receiving core that worries me, personally, as a fan, is, the age. They're all 30 and above. That doesn't mean that they're decrepit. That doesn't mean that they can't play. It just means that sooner rather than later, you're going to need some young guys. That's why we hope Traylon Burks could be something. But for right now, all I'll say is this, and I've said it a million times, if the Cowboys had Calvin Ridley, DeAndre Hopkins, and Tyler Boyd, people would be going crazy. If the Green Bay Packers had those three guys, people would be going crazy. If the Indianapolis Colts had those three guys, people would be going crazy. But because it's the Titans, it's just scoffed at and set aside. I don't like it, and it ain't right.